If there's one shot that separates a pro pickleball player from an amateur, it's the serve. Pros don't just start the point, they take control of it. A great serve sets the tone, forces weak returns, and puts pressure on the opponent from the very first shot. But here's the truth, most amateur players are missing these 5 key details that make all the difference. Today, I'm taking my buddy Tommy here, and I'm gonna take him through those 5 pro level keys to help transform his serve into a serious weapon. So the first key detail to hitting a pro level serve comes from the arm and the wrist. So we want to have a loose arm and we want to have a really light grip here and a light wrist. And what this is going to do is allow our arm to come through with a better flow, and it's going to be like a whip coming through. So this is going to help with power, spin, and that good flow, which is what we want. We want a nice rhythm on our serve. All right, Tommy, so give me your normal serve, just what you do in a match here. All right, so how those pros get a lot of that speed and power on their serve is from that light grip, right? So they're not tensing up like you'll see a lot of amateur players do. They're really allowing that arm to just come through the ball, and they're going for it because they trust that that light arm and light grip is gonna create spin and paddle head speed to get the ball to still land in the court. So what I want you to do here is really try to accentuate that loose arm and loose wrist. So let's say holding the grip, like squeezing it is going to be a 10, and just letting it like about to fall out of your hand is a 0 or 1. I want you to be at like a 3 here. So we still have, we're still gripping it obviously, but we want to have a pretty loose hold on it because this is going to help with power, spin, and then I really want you to accentuate that flow and extension. Okay, so
how high do you think I should have it?
How high are you holding the paddle?
Yeah.
Whatever's comfortable for you. It doesn't matter. So you can, you can hold it pretty low on the paddle, you can have it high up, but the main thing is that you have that loose grip and that loose arm. Okay. So just give me a few examples here of you serving there. Yeah, so really good. So again, give it a little more paddle head speed with that loose arm and that loose grip. Yeah, so good. So already you have a little bit of a better flow and you get a little more power from that. And especially when you go into a match, you're gonna get way more power and spin from just letting that thing go and kind of whipping it through. Yeah. Also, what's gonna happen is because you have a loose grip, you're gonna naturally get some wrist lag here, which is gonna help you generate some more spin on that ball because your paddle head is gonna drop naturally. The second key detail is going to be forward weight transfer and arm extension. If you want to serve like a pro, then you're going to have to understand weight transfer and arm extension. A lot of amateur players will have no weight transfer or even reverse weight transfer when hitting their serve, which hurts the effectiveness of the serve tremendously. Instead, what you want to do is make sure that you have forward weight transfer paired with full arm extension towards your target. I want to put a big emphasis on using this technique towards your target because this is going to help you a lot with your accuracy and precision. If you can make sure that your weight is transferring towards your target and you can make sure that your arm is extending out towards your target, then you're going to have a very high chance of hitting that target. Okay, so start on that, the weight on that back leg and then drive it forwards. And then a big thing, just keep doing that arm extension, okay? So I want full arm extension when you hit that shot. See how it looks? That's really good, dude. One more time. That's really, really good. Give me full power here. Good. One more with full weight transfer. So I want your full body coming into that shot. Okay. That's so good, dude. That's really, really good. Key number 3 to serving like the pros is going to be having a routine. If you want to serve like a pro pickleball player, you have to have a routine and understand that consistency starts before the serve. If you want to have a serve that you can replicate over and over, you're going to need to make sure that your routine is the same thing every single time. There's not necessarily a specific routine that the pros do, but it's something easy that gets you in the rhythm if you're about to serve. So do you have a routine that you go to before you serve, or?
Not really. I just look where the positioning of the partner is and then I'll just hit it.
Just go for it? Okay. Yeah, so that's totally fine. But I think if you want to have that consistent pro level serve, we want to make sure that we're building a routine. So for me, I go up to the line and I don't think about it, but it's just kind of natural to me. I get in my stance. For some weird reason, I'm in a continental grip. That's just why, I don't know. It's just something that gets me in the rhythm. I bounce the ball 2 or 3 times, usually 3 times. Then I switch my grip and then I go to serve. I don't know why I do it. It's just kind of a natural thing. So I want to create a routine for you here that's going to kind of put you in that zone to serve that you can do every time before you serve. So we make sure that we're hitting our targets and we're hitting a consistent serve, because consistency starts before the serve. So give me something here. Give me something that you like, something that might feel good for you.
I think I'll try bouncing it.
Okay, so you want to go like the classic ball bounce. So let's pick a number, maybe 3 like me?
Okay.
Okay, so 3 bounces. I would do this. I would go, because you know we're serving with a closed stance here. So I would go 3 bounces, maybe take a breath. So we pause after our serve and then go into your serve. Okay. So let's try that. Let's see how it looks. 1, 2, 3, breathe. Boom, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And so after you take that breath, I want you to look where you're gonna serve, okay? Something that doesn't show your opponent, so we don't wanna look in like, you know, too specific, but look where you're gonna serve and then go for it. So take that pause and then serve, okay? Let's do it one more time. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Again?
A lot better.
So after you take those 3 bounces, do a quick pause, just so we're not rushing into that serve, because when we change our head height here, it's gonna throw off our balance a little bit. So I just wanna make sure that we get to 1, 2, 3, pause, and then serve, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, I like that a lot, okay?
Yeah.
That's really, really good. Key number 4 to serving like a pro is going to be depth and spin. If you want to serve like a pro, you need to be able to consistently hit a deep serve with spin. A lot of the loose arms and grips, the weight transfer, and the forward arm extension, these types of things are going to allow you to serve with depth and spin. But the question is, can we do this on a consistent basis? Let's talk about what the ideal serve looks like. So we want to make sure that on our serve, we're getting depth and spin. That's going to be how we're going to create a little more chaos on our serve. We want to make sure that we're pushing our opponent back, and we want to make sure that we have spin on this shot so that it can kick up into our opponent, and then we can also use it for a little bit of variance in that serve, so we can change the spins and stuff like that. In order to get the ball to travel further, we want to lift it a little higher over the net. So you have like a low flat serve that we can do, but if we want it to go deeper, we want it to travel further, we gotta lift that ball a little higher over the net. So I'm gonna give my best shot here. I'm gonna aim in the back third of my opponent's court, which is gonna be the, if we split their court into 3, it's gonna be the 3rd section here, okay? So that's how we're gonna measure depth. All right, I'm gonna hit my ideal serve here. And boom, okay, so I think I hit the baseline there. Yeah. Perfect, exactly what I wanted. Maybe a little too close to the line there, but you see that ball's lifting over the net?
Yeah.
So give me a couple here where you're doing the same thing, and I want you to lift that ball, go for power and spin, and make sure we're continuing to do the same thing we did. So give me that routine, and give me the loose arm and the weight transfer.
Should I toss the ball up, kind of to hit it higher, have more arc?
You can. So I like to toss the ball, just making sure it's in front of me. It depends where you want to toss it. That's really preference. I think some different serves have different tosses, but the main thing is the ball's in front of you and you're not jamming yourself here. So look, if I'm about to serve, I want to make sure that I'm dropping the ball here and not here, right? Because I want room to extend.
Okay.
So give me your best deep serve here. That's really good. So you hit the back third, but I want to make sure we have our routine and that we're also doing the same racket head speed or paddle head speed from that loose arm and that weight transfer. So make sure you're going full power and full speed in terms of the mechanics we talked about earlier.
And for having the arc on the serve, should my follow through end here behind my ear?
Yeah, so we want to extend forward and then follow through. So as long as we're getting that full extension there, then it doesn't matter what our arm does after. We can finish across above our shoulder. A little higher over the net, all right?
Okay.
A little higher over the net. Thanks. Perfect. Give me one more of those. That's perfect. But give me your routine, okay? So pair it with that routine.
Loose wrist.
That's amazing. Really, really good, all right? The fifth and final key to serving like a pro is using variation. We want to keep our opponents guessing. While it's really important to have a hard, spinny, deep serve, we also want to make sure that we're using variation in order to keep our opponents unsure of what serve is coming next. These variations include specific spots on the court, different levels of spin, different levels of height, and sometimes even different levels of speed. Let's say that you're hitting a really good, hard, deep serve with topspin to your opponent. Yes, this is going to be really difficult for them to return, but a lot of times you're going to want to make sure that they're still guessing because they're going to get comfortable and find rhythm. They're going to get used to this serve and they're going to be able to quickly start producing better returns to counteract this serve. This is where variation can come in critically. Okay, so let's say you're going up to serve, you go up to the line, you're in a match. What's your mindset in terms of changing up the serve? Do you usually hit the same serve every time? Like, do you just go full blast every time, try to hit the best serve you can? Or do you try to throw off the rhythm by maybe going like short angle, maybe going a little bit of a lob serve? What's your mindset on that?
I usually just do one serve like hard, as deep as I can, but sometimes I change my mind and I either like hit into the net or out.
All right, we're gonna change that because I want you to really mix up the serves now, okay? Especially at that pro level, like you wanna make sure that you're giving the returner different looks and that they're always on edge. So that really good serve you just hit, I would say that's our baseline. That's our go-to serve. And we can mix the spots up. So we can go middle, we can go body, or we can go wide there, okay? But what I want you to do now is implement, let's try this. Let's try the kick serve, what I call. So, or what I call the kick serve. It's gonna be taking 25% of spin off. You're gonna lift the ball a little more, so it's gonna have a little more arc. And, sorry, you're gonna take 25% of power off, not spin, and you're gonna add spin, okay? So we're gonna hit more of a higher lob serve here, okay? Let's see what this looks like. So still a little more speed. So I want it to look something like this, all right? So I'm not gonna serve full power, but I'm still really emphasizing getting some spin here. So maybe that's a little too high. Something like in the middle of those two. So like this, okay? So that's what I want. So that's more of what I call the kick serve. So I'm taking some power off and it's bouncing into my opponent more. So when they're going to return that serve, they're gonna have to change everything right when I hit that serve because it's gonna be kicking into them more. It's gonna come off differently off their paddle. And ultimately, it's just gonna give them a harder time when we're mixing these things up with variety. So could I see a couple more balls here?
So still the same depth as my go-to serve, but just higher, more arc and less power, but more spin.
So this is just gonna be another option for you, right? So let's try that serve again. So let's go the hard kind of deep serve that we did earlier. Let's start with that. Boom, perfect. Okay, so that's our baseline serve. And now I want you to take a little bit of power off, generate more spin and go higher, okay?
Okay. And on this one, should I go more low to high than usual? So I can,
yes, to generate that spin, for sure. Keep that arm loose, okay? Boom, perfect. So give me the same thing here with a little more power, okay? So a little more RPMs in that paddle head speed. So really let that arm fly. You're just taking a little bit of power off. Perfect, so I like that one. That one's gonna bounce into your opponent and give them a different look. So you had that kind of fastball serve you did before, and now we're throwing in a little bit of a kick serve just to throw them off a little bit. So we can do that in a bunch of different ways. We change up our spots, we change up our spins, we change up our speeds, and then that height variance too. So we can go higher, we can go lower, and that's gonna affect the bounce a lot, okay?
Okay.
Perfect, my man. All right, so we took Tommy's serve here and we turned him from an amateur into a professional server. We're gonna go a little before and after here. Tommy, you ready?
Yes.
right, so there you have it. We took Tommy's serve here from an amateur serve all the way to a pro level serve. Tommy, how you feeling right now?
I feel like I can beat any person in the world with my serve.
Look at that. Any person in the world, including me. What of those 5 details helped you the most? So if, you know, we went over those 5 things. We have loose grip, loose arm. We have weight transfer and arm extension, routine, depth and spin, and then last is variance.
Probably routine.
Okay.
Taking my time before and breathing and bouncing the ball. Before I used to just rush it really quick and not really think about where I wanted to place it or do with it.
Yeah.
Now I have a lot more.
So picking your spots before, taking that breath, bouncing the ball, those things, you see the pros do those things on TV too, right?
Yeah.
Like you see the high level servers, they're always going up to the line and they're not just serving, they're thinking about what they're gonna do and then they're serving. So dude, awesome job.
you.
Your serve looks great.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe as it motivates me to keep making videos like this. I'm gonna try to do more coaching videos like this, or if there's anything in particular you wanna see, make sure to drop a comment below. I'll see you in the next one.